and you're going to get the video of the cell, and you're going to see for yourself.
And the film has a minute missing from it?
Yeah.
Like, do you think we're babies? Like, what is this?
This Epstein stuff, more than anything else in the last decade, has managed to sever Donald Trump's core supporters from the man himself. I think it's important to acknowledge that MAGA is not one big uniform organism. There are subgroups within Donald Trump's base that are actually very different from one another. And the third group was sort of added last year. It's what we might call the broadcasters. And having seen Donald Trump be interviewed by these people, having seen these people endorse him in the end, they actually did show up to the polls and they helped Donald Trump beat Kamala Harris. Trump appealed to these guys because, I suppose, as a shorthand we could call woke culture. And they saw Trump as being anti-woke. And that appealed to them. But they see the anti-immigration stuff. They see the administration going much further than they thought it would. They thought it would go after just illegal immigrants who are also criminals. And they see Trump urging people to move on from the Epstein files, having previously implied that he would release them. And they think, hang on, I thought this guy was the outsider. I thought he was going to be sent to Washington to expose the rich and powerful. And it turns out he's protecting them instead.
People that they'll DM me and be like, you see what your boy's doing? You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for.
Yeah.
I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them. I want him to shrink spending, reduce the budget. He's increasing it. It's like everything that he said he's going to do, except sending immigrants back.
The Epstein stuff in particular, for that reason, I think has been damaging to Trump in a way that very few things are. And damaging to Trump with the Joe Rogans of the world, because it strikes at the core of what they thought Donald Trump was. You know, it turns out he's just another rich politician who doesn't care about the same things that they care about. It's been a bit disillusioning for them to realize that he's actually not the savior, for lack of a better word, that they thought he was.
You know, when we thought Trump was going to come in and a lot of things were going to be resolved.
Yeah.
We're going to drain the swamp. We're going to figure everything out. And when you have this one hardcore line in the sand that everybody had been talking about forever, and then they're trying to gaslight you on that.
Joe Rogan is someone who subscribes to what we might politely call skepticism about how Jeffrey Epstein died. Obviously, the government's official story here is that he killed himself in prison. The Epstein thing inhabits this weird position where it's sort of a conspiracy theory, but also there are actual genuine questions to be answered.
The level of convenience. It's so convenient that the guards were asleep. So convenient that the cameras didn't work. So convenient that years later you have a recording of the outside of the cell, but a minute is missing from it.
3
minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes?
Yeah, they found out it was like almost 3 minutes was missing.
And this just adds to the disillusionment that people like Joe Rogan must feel, because Donald Trump selected Kash Patel to be the guy overseeing this stuff. And Kash Patel is someone who, for many years, was saying, we need to release all the Epstein files. We need to see the footage from the prison. We can't trust what the government has told us on this. And the moment he's in government, suddenly he turns around and says, oh, there's nothing to see here.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest, the largest scale in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
And I will do everything, if confirmed as FBI director, to make sure the American public knows the full weight of what happened in the past.
You can absolutely understand, whether it's warranted or not in the long term, that Donald Trump and Andrew Schultz and other podcasters who have helped Donald Trump in the last 18 months feel a bit betrayed by this. So the people who Donald Trump has appointed to lead law enforcement in the United States and the federal government, we're talking about the FBI Director Kash Patel, his deputy Dan Bongino, Attorney General Pam Bondi. Prior to last year's election, all of these people were very much saying there's a there when it comes to Epstein. That there were associates of Epstein who had thus far gone unpunished and should be pursued by law enforcement.
There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing.
Release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
It's always about protecting the victim. But you know what? We believe in transparency, and America has the right to know.
Obviously, it's very jarring when those very same people turn around, 3-4 months later, and say, actually, there is no there. Just ignore it. There's nothing to see. Move on.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
And then we get this memo from the Justice Department and the FBI, a joint memo unsigned by any particular individual, saying that, Epstein did kill himself in prison. All the theories were wrong. Don't worry about it. Just trust us. Saying, we're not going to pursue any third parties in the Epstein case. So, this entire idea that Epstein was, for lack of a better term, farming these underage girls out to rich and powerful men, just don't worry about that. Just move on from it.
You know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
And then, have Bongino and Kash Patel saying he definitely killed himself. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
There was no universe in which this degree of a backflip was ever going to go down well, was ever going to work. And that's one of the reasons why this Epstein stuff, more than anything else in the last decade, has managed to sever Donald Trump's core supporters from the man himself.